right, welcome to another edition of the Above the Bridge podcast. I'm your host, Thaddeus. First up, shout out to our sponsors. First, we have Defend Hoy. If you go to defendhoy.com, figure out what you need. They have a bunch of new clothing. They're always dropping new stuff, hats, apparel. Check out what you want. Use promo code ATBPod upon checkout, and you'll receive 15% off your entire purchase order. defendhawaii.com. Next, we have iRep Detail Supply. If you go to irepdetailsupply.com, they have a whole bunch of waxes, polishes, anything you need to detail your car. Go to irepdetailsupply.com, use promo code ATBPod upon checkout. You receive 15% off your entire purchase order. All right, last but not least, we have Hawaii Candy Factory. If you go to hawaiicandyfactory.com, check out what they have. They have a bunch of snacks, local candies and treats, lihimui gummies. Go to hawaiicandyfactory.com, use promo code ATBPod upon checkout. You receive 10% off your entire purchase order. So today, my guest is somebody I knew for a long time. I've done a lot of business together with this person in the nightclub industry, but to be honest, I know him as my friend, and he's somebody that's very close to me. Furious Styles, BRYAN Simpson. What's up, brother?
Oh, man.
How you been? Well, I mean, as usual, tradition to start things off, you know, we gotta cheers.
Okay.
Cheers, brother.
To you, man.
Yep, to you, brother.
Thanks for having me on.
Thank you for thank you for coming on. Furious Styles, bro. I always wanted to know why you chose Furious Styles for your company.
Oh, that's a good question.
Because you are definitely not a furious person.
No, I'm not. But I can still have furious styles, though.
Oh, I get it. It's your style that's furious.
Wow. No, so actually, I just wanted something, you know, kind of old school or cool. A lot of people don't know, but I don't know if you've ever seen that movie, Boys in the Hood.
Yes, for sure.
Okay. So do you remember the main character's name was Trey, right?
Yeah.
Do you remember the name of his father?
It was Lawrence Fishburne. Lawrence Fishburne, but I don't know what the character name was.
So so his dad's name was Furious.
Oh, okay.
And his last name was Trey Styles. So that means his dad's name was Furious Styles.
Oh, shit.
You know what I mean? And so Lawrence Fishburne in that movie, he was like the G, right? He was like always trying to school the younger people, and like he was real knowledgeable. He was like a man, you know what I mean, raising his son by himself and all that. And I just like how he was always rubbing those like time things
those
together.
Chinese balls. Yeah.
He was just a good character. So I was like, oh, Furious Styles is kind of a dope name. So that's how I chose it, man.
Wow, I am so glad I asked that question because I have never known that, and that's kind of an awesome I guess how you came up with it, because watching that movie, there were parts in that movie that I remember thinking like, okay, when I'm a parent, I definitely want to emulate some of his thinkings and how he like held his son down. It was kind of cool, and I do remember that it was like Ice Cube's first breakout movie, and Lawrence Fishburne was a cool dude.
Jr.
yeah. Jeez, I didn't know that's how you came up with it.
I really didn't tell anybody how I came up with it, so that's a good question to start out with.
Wow, that's kind of cool, man.
Yeah.
So I remember you from when I first met you. You were the door guy at Oceans.
Yeah.
And you were always you had you look together. You're like the handsome guy in the front. You knew that this guy had his shit together, and you're very courteous and you're welcoming, which, I mean, there's a lot of clubs we've done in the past where it's like they don't have that, and you always portrayed like, oh, this guy was very welcoming, and you always took care of people you knew you had to take care of, but you also made sure the like just people that was coming to the club that didn't know anybody felt welcome. And I always thought that was cool. But watching you do that, it was like, bro, this guy could be a promoter. Like he just has like everybody liked you, and it kind of blossom into a promoting business at one point. But how
Yeah,
did you even
yeah.
get started at Oceans, bro? That was a while ago. That was when they had like the original Oceans, huh?
Oh, the original Ocean crew. Well, um, my boy Derek Young, he had opened this this spot called the Living Room, and I was part of the beginning staff there because I was friends with one of his friends, and he was like, "Oh, B, why don't you work over here at the living room with us? My boy's starting to and he needs like bouncers or whatever, you know." And I was like, "All right, you know, that sounds cool." So we started the living room, right? And then, as you know, like a lot of people from the industry, nightclub industry, used to go to the living room, right, to hang out. And so we ended up meeting Dan Punch.
Okay.
Used
He
to
was
go.
the GM at Oceans, right?
Yeah, he was a GM at Oceans, and then well, actually, he was a manager at Oceans, and later became the GM. But at that time, I think he was the manager. But he pretty much ran it. I think Bo Moore was the GM at the time. But then he used to come over there, you know, and I had met him through other friends too, so he already kind of knew me. And then he was running Oceans at the time, and so he said, "Well," he said, "why don't you come over to Oceans and work with me?" You know, and at that time, Oceans was like the spot. It
Yeah.
was like the place to be. It was the best club on the island at that time. And I knew that. And so I was excited, but I had to like play it off. So he asked me, I was like, I already knew what I was gonna say, but I was like, "Oh, let me think about it for a second, you know." And he's like, "Yeah, let me know." And so of course I was like, "Yeah, yeah, I'll come over there." So I started over there, and you know, we had those green polo shirts and the khaki
Yeah.
pants. Yeah.
I
I
do
was like,
remember that.
yeah, back in the days, there's no bottle service or anything like that. And so
Yeah.
my first job was sitting outside in the back on a chair on the lanai outside, just making sure nobody snuck in those back areas.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I remember that. That's was that like when they had like paddlers night, and
Yeah, yeah.
Russell Tanoy had a Piranha Room. And like to
Room.
me, those are the best events. Those things used to
Yeah.
just fly off the hook. It was
Well,
crazy.
there's nothing like it anymore.
Yeah.
Like the
Yeah.
budget for those events that were once a month were like 13 to 20 grand.
Yeah.
Like does that like, and they had all kind of
Russell.
Russell does that like, yeah, true. He really like I really can't think of a better ongoing event than Piranha Room. That was I mean,
Yeah.
other than ours, but
Oh yeah.
it was for the way he did it, like, you know,
Yeah.
the monthly event. So
I can admit he put it together, but it was like you said, once a month, and it was a big budget.
mm.
We did that thing every
And
single
that was
Friday.
Ocean's budget.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, yeah, he didn't spend that money, but Oceans did. But it
Yeah.
was in support of him, and he put together the scheme and everything. It was awesome. Yeah.
Yeah. It was fun. I remember they had a King Tut night one time, and they had like the Sphinx in the front, and it was
Beach
yeah,
night, all kind of different themes, man.
yeah, we should do that. He had all the models there too, which helped promote it. Like it was a thing every month. Yeah.
Right,
I
and the
like that.
staff all participated with the theme. Yeah. Except for me, I still have my green shirt on. Bouncers don't dress up. So.
Yeah. It's weird to think of you as a bouncer. I always thought of you as more of a door host because
Mm.
I
Yeah,
mean, honestly, like since I've known you, I've never seen you have to get physical.
yeah, it only happened a few times.
Yeah.
But usually I was able to diffuse the situation. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? You know,
Which
uh,
is probably a good thing.
yeah, I've had great stories, a couple great stories about that. It's so awesome. Because that was
Yeah.
back when Oceans was smoking. Like
Oh
the
yeah.
smoky side, the smoke used to be so thick in there. I don't know if you remember that, but
I do. Yeah.
yeah,
The
yeah.
worst was Venus. Remember, like when you could smoke in the clubs, like Venus, like if you went in there, you're like everything's coming out smelling like cigarettes. I remember like falling asleep and my whole bed would smell like cigarettes the next day.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm
Just
so glad
imagine
that.
working there, bro. You
Yeah.
just had to stand there the whole night and smoke. And they had ashtrays that they would dump out and replace and everything. And yeah. And then yeah, one night there's this one guy that was wasted, and you're not allowed to be in the club wasted. And so we are trying to figure out how we were going to get him out, and he was sitting there trying to light his cigarette, and it wasn't lighting the cigarette. And I said, man, look, you're going to have to go. You're too drunk. And he said, no, 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 I'm fine. I said, okay, I'm going to make you a deal. If you can light that cigarette right now with that lighter, I'll let you stay. If you can't light it right now, then you're going to go. And he said, okay, deal. And then he went, he just walked out of the club. So that was my way of bouncing.
Well, that's something that should be happen nowadays. It's like you gotta be kind. Like there's you always should be nice until it's time to not be nice, but that time frame shouldn't be immediate.
If you're a nightclub, check it. What I always thought was, if you're a nightclub, what's your main thing? You want your customers to come, have a great time, drink as much as they can, right? So comes a responsibility with that. Like, of course, they're going to be drunk, they're going to be wasted, having a great time, and a lot of times some things go wrong, people don't think straight or whatever, so you're there to take care of them, make sure they have a good time, you know what I mean? So you got to know they're gonna act up. You just try to handle it the best they can. You can't just be like, why are you acting so dumb? Oh yeah, we want you to come drink, like that's the whole point.
Yeah. And how, I mean, I've seen bouncers go ham on customers, and I mean, we've seen it. I mean, you worked at a couple places where it was like that was the thing that was supposed to happen.
Yeah, I've seen quite a bit, man. And
Yeah.
yeah, and it's and some of it, a lot of times it is the patron, like
Yeah.
way out. A lot of people, like even a lot of those instances, they deserved a lot of stuff that came to them, but unfortunately that's not the way it's supposed to go. But yeah, and it is a thin line sometimes, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you get bouncers get tested. And what's kind of cool, like with us, we always had good relationships with the door people and the security staff and the bouncers, which is good, because they always are the ones that the first people you see when you come to the club.
Right. And that's why I actually asked Dan Punch if I could dress up.
Yeah.
So I had that green thing on. I was at the front, and I was like, would you mind? You know what I mean? If I didn't wear this and I wore something like better. And that's when I started pulling out the suits and stuff.
Yep. And that's where your style came.
Yeah, the Furious style. And then it went over well, you know what I mean? Like, took some pressure off him. So it was cool.
And yeah, it was like the first experience people had walking into the club was always a good one because of you. And I mean, like working with you, we always try to kind of have that vibe happen throughout all our events. But
yeah. I mean, if you think about it, we're still in the service industry. Nightclub, still the service industry. So you're there to be for the people. You know what I mean? Some people get to like, it's our club, blah blah blah. You know what I mean? But you're still there to make sure everybody has a good time and safe, and do special things for them and make them feel special. You know what I mean? So.
Yeah, and that's something that you, Hanson, and myself always kind of. That was such a great freaking collaboration. I mean, obviously it lasted almost a decade.
Yep. Great times. And I was always by myself. promoting, you know what I mean? And so
well, you had Titus at the beginning, right?
as
You guys
Titus at
are.
the beginning, yeah. And
How
I
did
love
that
Titus.
start? You guys are what was it called? Be tight.
Be tight, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, be and Titus, be tight,
Yeah.
you know? And so that was fun starting out with him, and we're great friends to this day. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
he's a good dude, bro.
Well, Titus is well. So yeah, and yeah, we went from that, and then that was Derek's idea. He saw I was doing, you know, pretty well over Oceans. He was like, and he had a Sunday night. I didn't work at Oceans on Sunday night, so he's like, "You want to come promote on Sunday night?" I was like,
That's
"Let's
right.
promote."
You guys were at living room on Sundays.
Yeah,
I would
and
go
dude,
to
like
that.
it was, yeah, and it was cool. People showed up every once. It wasn't nothing like crazy or whatever. You know what I
It
mean?
was
And
when
then
Mondays
I
were a
remember the
holiday.
Well, that's what I was just about to say. When it was Sunday, Monday holidays, I didn't know anything about that or whatever. And so I think the first Sunday, Monday holiday I did, I think I, I think I did it with Curious, Dave and Ryan Conchi,
Oh,
and 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 I just remember we threw it out there, whatever. I was inviting everybody, working so hard, trying to get the word out and everything. And then that day came. And I woke up and I came there. I was so nervous. It was my first event, and I actually threw up before the event because I was so nervous.
really?
Like, is anybody gonna show? Yeah, I was like, is anybody gonna show up? Am I gonna be embarrassed? Gonna be sitting here and like, you know? And then by the end of the night, it was crazy. I think 900 people showed up to the living room. There was cars. I walked outside like on a back balcony, and there was like a stairs back there, and I just went outside to get some air because it was crowded. And then there was cars all the way down Alamoana, cars all the way down Ward, all coming there, and it was already crazy inside. And I was like, "What did we do?" You know, that was I'm not used to.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
You
I was
just sit
like,
back and be like,
I,
wow, they actually came because we told them to.
I was like, "What did we do, bro?" And then like I went through, and people were like, "Oh, cool party, you know, awesome party." I'm like, thanks, you know, like it was a good feeling. You know what I mean? I was
Oh
like, this
yeah.
is great. Yeah. So that was the first time that I figured like, all right, I'm gonna do this. This is cool.
Well, you pretty much put living room on the map. I mean, I've went there a few times, but I only started to go there a lot because of you. Like every time it'd be like, okay, whatever event we're doing, as long as it's a 2 o'clock event, we already knew we're gonna go living room if we're not already too drunk. But it was always fun. And then I remember we did it was I Spin, or we did
I
something with
spent
you. That was the first one we did with you at living room, correct?
that living room. Yeah, the DJ contest.
Yeah, that was horrible.
Hey, it worked though. It was a crowded event. It was so funny. It's just the concept didn't quite pan out at the end, but it was, but it was, I blame you.
Yeah, everybody blame me for that. So what happened was, we had we had like all the DJs, right? We had like
It was like 8 or 10 or maybe 10. It was one, so it was 10. We had an upstairs and a downstairs. So 10, 11, 12, 1, 2, 3, 4. It might have been like 12 DJs because we had a DJ every single hour
and it was
that changed.
2 stages. I mean, two
Yeah,
booths.
upstairs and downstairs, right? And then every hour, and it was from 10 to 4. So we had a lot of DJs spinning.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
And
And I
the
was like, yeah, and
premise.
then we'll have them. My vision was we have all those DJs who know all these people that come to see them. We get all of them to come see their DJs, and they can vote for their DJs. So to they all want to show up and vote for their DJs. So maybe if like 30 people come for 12 DJs, that's already a good amount of people. And then the other people come, it's going to be great, you know? And it
Yeah.
did work. But
Yeah.
yeah,
But
I don't know. You
because
talking about it?
So we had like a ballot box where you come in, vote for your favorite DJ, and the winner gets, what was it, like a couple $100, or I forget what it was.
Yeah, we had some money and then some gift certificates to, I think, the guys at what was the sound, it was at somewhere where they could use it to get DJ equipment or something like where Paul Brandon was.
Yeah, it was in Kaneohe. Oh, what was it called?
Yeah. So I
That's
asked
gonna
them if
bother
they,
me.
I
Yeah.
mean, it only made sense for them to sponsor the event because I mean they supplied a lot of the DJ equipment for the island. So.
Yeah. And it was Artist Groove, Furious Styles, and then we had Golden Child. Ryan was involved with it too. So we booked all the DJs, and of course we had our resident DJ. And at the time, my resident DJ was DJ Betty, and she had a good following. And you had what, XL and Taco
and,
was there, yeah,
and Delve,
yeah,
Aaron from Sleep Time Is Over podcast, you know, Aaron Sakai, yeah. Hey, Zach.
we had like the best DJs in Hawaii there. And at the time, Betty, she was Artist Group Networks, she was our resident, but she was still building her brand and her name. But she had a lot of people that liked her. And we had, at the time, Artist Group Network had a huge, we were having big events. So we had a big following. So this is where it got weird, because to vote, all you had to do is just write a ballot. It wasn't like how good they played or whatever. And what happened was Betty was one of the closers, and she just got wrecked. Like, she literally drank herself under the DJ booth. I really think she played one song and like passed out under the DJ booth. Do you remember that?
Yeah. Who ended up spinning?
I think it was Taco. I could be wrong, but I think it was Jimmy Taco.
I love Taco. That's
And at the end of the night, it was you and I, and we collected the ballots, and we're in the back counting them up, and it was between was it XL and Betty, and we're just like, Betty, and I'm just looking at you, I'm like, bruh, she's really gonna win this thing. And I'm just like, bruh, we can't let her win, because if she wins, everybody's gonna think it's rigged, because it's part of my event and she's my DJ. but it was like, honestly, it was a popularity contest at that point.
It was, and that's what I thought it was gonna be. Because at no point did I say, because I already thought about that. I was like, okay, there's no judges. Nobody's gonna say who spun the best. It's whoever can get the most people to come out to vote for them. That's part of a DJ's job too, is market themselves, right?
Yeah.
So I'm like, whoever puts it out there the most to have the people come vote for them, then they win, you know? I did not even think about at all that the DJ that would win didn't even spin. And then and the name of the event is I Spin.
She never.
I was like, oh man, like what and I was like, you know what? I was like, she won. You know what I mean? Like she got the most votes. You know what I mean? Because it wasn't about who spun or
that was such a tough one, bro. And
so I remember we were like discussing it, like, what do we do? I was like, but I think, you know, I would do it again. That was a cool event.
Yeah. But one thing I took from that night, which something you might not remember, but I'll never forget, is you said this to me, and I gave you my word. You said, Thad, I've never promoted outside a living room. I would love to promote outside a living room. And I remember that. And I said, I promise we'll do something. We'll make this happen. And to this day, I remember that conversation. And it's one of the main reasons why I was like, one of these days we're gonna get Bryan to do something outside of living room, because that was it. You were
Yeah,
a
I wanted.
living room promoter. Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Mm.
fortunately,
Parties like everywhere, so I
yeah.
was I always wanted to work with you guys. Like back then when I started, like I didn't look at other promoters as competition.
Yeah.
I looked at them as, we do the same job. I want to be cool with all them. I want to learn from them. I want to like reach out, do stuff with them. You know what I mean? So you were one of the first people, and then Curious was one of the first people that I did things with. So
Yeah.
yeah,
And I remember we did a few living room events. And I do
yeah.
remember hanging fucking the banners. Usually, I just staple gun it to the roof, like nobody cares.
Hey, that was what was good about the living room, because you didn't have to be careful with anything. It was like just the old wood and everything.
Yeah.
Living room venue itself was not what made it good. It was the
Oh yeah.
attitude, music, and the staff was just OGs, and it was just awesome. You know what I mean? You don't have to worry about stuff like that. I'll just drill it in. It doesn't matter.
Was that, and you're like, hey, watch out, a rat might come like grab your shit. Your famous words like, I wouldn't even take a napkin from here, let alone eat anything.
The floor was so sticky. It was there, but hey, but so some great nights happened there, man.
Yeah.
Hey, shout out to Derek and Vince for the living room. I think
Yeah.
everybody can appreciate that place. That
Hey,
was like,
to this day, your name in my phone is Bryan Living Room. Yep.
That's awesome, man.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's where it started, man.
Yeah.
I mean, plus, what are you gonna do? Like change my name every time I go somewhere? Oh, I gotta switch it over here now. He's
Yeah.
at Rump.
Oh, back then it was like the Nextel phones too. Huh?
Yeah.
I'm not trying to age ourselves, but
Yeah. Stop that, man.
but then back then, like we were promoting, Hanson and I were doing this thing called Passport, which we were jumping around. And then the new Oceans, it was Oceans 808, kind of was one of our destinations. We had jumped, it was a event where we did one Friday a week, and we moved it around, and then we'd rotate it every month. And
Yeah,
we
I
did
remember
such a,
seeing that. I was like, that's
yeah,
such a good idea.
yeah, it was a lot of work, man. But we did such a good job at Oceans. It was Oceans 808. They gave us a contract, and well, they asked us if we would promote here weekly, and we'd cut Passport and just be there. And I would say yes, but I'm gonna bring Bryan on. And at the time we were working with a few other people, and they were like, oh, who's Bryan? I was like, it doesn't matter, like I'm bringing him on. Hanson was down, and I was like, we're gonna do a weekly party, and Furious Style is gonna be part of it, and that's the deal. Like, if you guys could take it or leave it, it's up to you guys. Like, they're like,
And that
okay,
made
they knew Bryan. Yeah, yeah.
when you
I
called
remember
me up,
calling you out, yo.
I was like, what? Where? Yeah, like I'd already worked there before.
Yeah,
So it was something new to me to be in that building. And I knew a lot about that building and whatever. And so I was like, that makes sense. So I was like, I was like, that was so cool you called me up. You know what I mean?
yeah,
So then back in that building under a different type of relationship with the business. So I was like a door guy, and then went away, and then came back with you guys as like a legit promoter. You know what I mean? So
yeah.
that was cool, man.
That was super
And
cool. And
oh yeah, that was what? How long we were there? Like what? 4 years? 5 years?
yeah, yep. Oceans, we made Oasis. It was called
Oh wait,
Oasis. Yep, that was
yeah.
Oasis, right? Yeah. I
It was like
remember,
4.
like, yeah, I remember um I would get like butterflies driving to the club because it was so much fun. And it was like, that event for me was like a big one, because at the time I was married, and I had full control of Artist Group Network. Peter and Ronnie were done, and this was like the biggest thing I've done to date that wasn't an 18 and over event. And it was with you and Hanson, and it was such a perfect mesh and a perfect time period in Hawaii. It was such a fun event, and like all our crowd, like all our companies crowds matched perfectly with each other. So like, where else would you go, brah? Like, it was just, that was the spot.
Right, it was, man. Like, it was just, we both had a lot of people we both knew and that we both loved a lot, and they loved us. And then we each had a little different kind of group, but they all were like symbiotic. They all could be around each other. Like, it was like perfect storm. It really
Yeah.
was.
Yeah.
Great.
I wish we could have done that forever. I mean, that was such a iconic event, and it lasted a long time. But what was fun about that event was we did a lot of theme nights, and Oceans were super cool about letting us try different themes and being a part of it, and supported it. Their employees. I remember doing a like, we did a military night, and I remember we went to the surplus store, and we had like those big camouflage netting and like all this decor, and everybody camouflage there. Like, we are just like Rambos, and like the whole staff was down, and it was so much fun. It was like it was just everybody in the club, as well as our promoters, were on the same page to make the event such a great night. And then our people that came was just about it.
Yeah, they were. And it wasn't like back in the day where like now I feel like a lot of people be like, oh, I'm too cool for that, or whatever. So man, no, everybody went like all out.
Yeah. Those pajama nights were fun too, man.
Yeah, like pajama jammy jams.
Yeah. I remember driving to the club in my pajamas thinking, I better not be the only one dressed like this, bro.
I remember we did the 70s night, and I had that big
yeah.
And like the big glasses, and like I had like some like bell bottoms on,
yeah.
collar.
Yeah. I have a picture. I have a picture holding my daughter who was a baby, and I had the glasses, and I had like a Kango hat with the low. Yeah.
Yeah, a low.
Yeah. That was, see, that was fun. Like, we never took ourselves serious, bro.
Yeah, whatever happened to theme parties? You think, we'll have to discuss that.
I know we're doing one this coming week. We're gonna it's pretty much you can wear your NFL jerseys. I mean, it's not really, we're not really going full board, but yeah. I honestly, I mean, I don't know if it's because we're older, and I don't know if it's the same vibe we get, like, oh, when our parents were like transitioning from being a young adult to a parent and stuff. Is like, oh, back in the day it used to be way more fun. And I was like, but like, in my opinion, it was, bro. And we've been in this industry for almost a long time. And the changes that it's been through is just, I don't think the amount of fun is the same. And I don't know if it's because we're older and it's like, oh, back in the day it was way more fun. I just wish maybe the younger generation would try out these kind of things, and like, I don't know, maybe they would have more fun. But I don't know what it is, bro.
I think they would, if they would just be open to it, and I think maybe there's some opportunities out there for that. Like, I think, if you think about how things are, to take it back and bring those things back again, you have to go back to where that started. So maybe like back then, there was no bottle service. What would happen if you had a nightclub and you just took bottle service out of it? Everybody would have to make and like everybody would have to hang out, like,
and
I
have
don't
to
know.
talk to each other.
Yeah.
See, I like
I
that.
don't
I
know.
mean, it became to where bottle service was a stature kind of thing. And
Yeah,
I
like a
mean, granted, we all fall into that. For me, it's just cheaper. Like if I
yeah.
have a bunch of my friends, we all throw in $100 and we get like 2 bottles. That's cheaper than me buying rounds for everybody. Like,
Now it's for the old people too. You know, we just want our own space and we want to sit down.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and I want myself roped up so those dumb people can't get to me. You know what I'm saying? But like,
Yeah. Okay, maybe
but
that's what it is.
no. But like for the younger generation, I think they really should branch out and not be about that flexing. Because I mean, we met some good people. You have to develop your own character. You actually have to be cool. You know, meet new people and stuff like that. Like I don't know. Like I mean, I'm sure some of that still goes on. You know, meeting new people
Yeah.
and everything. But I think it's a lot less. You know what I
Well,
mean? Than
it
it was.
it took some balls. I mean, how much balls does it take to go up to a random girl that you've never met and be like, "Hey, my name's Thaddeus. Can I buy you a drink?" Risking to get shut down in front of all of her friends and all of your friends,
Yeah.
and then you're still at the club, and like it's just shitty, to be honest.
Now they're like, oh, I can buy 3 bottles, and then all the girls are gonna want to come sit with me.
Yeah. All these
Free
bottle
drink.
hawks. At least you look cool, you know what I mean?
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I don't know. Maybe it's just the games change a little bit, but I agree though. Like it's, I feel like uh, it was definitely the fun times back then. You
Yeah,
know.
that's true. I never really did think about it. We would honestly, I would hardly even take shots at Oasis. It was always I would have a Crown Diet and I would sip
Mm.
on that like throughout the whole night. Like I wouldn't. Now it's like take a shot, take a shot. Oh, let me. Like it was a lot easier to like talk to somebody. Say, let me get you a drink. Now you're sipping on a drink together and you can converse. Versus, okay, I'll take a shot. Boom. Okay, bye. Like then done. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Unless you're with certain people, then the shots just keep coming.
Yeah. Yeah, like this past weekend. Oh, Brad, I appreciate you guys for coming out Friday. Like I honestly had a lot of fun. I mean, I always have fun when you guys come out, but this past Friday it was a lot of fun. Like seeing you guys out and you guys came early. And yeah, I was super lit.
Man, I was too. And we had some stuff the next day, and I woke up like, oh, I was
Oh
like,
yeah.
maybe that was a good idea. But hey, we didn't die. We're still here
Yeah.
and we made it.
Yep. I had my daughter's volleyball game at 9 in the morning. I was supposed to make musubis and I woke up. I'm like, no, I'm calling Zippies, bruh. There's no way I'm making musubis for this thing.
I think we had a birthday party that we had to go to too. So yeah, I was like, oh man. But yeah, no, it wasn't too major, so went all right. But yeah, I had fun, man. Thank you for
Thank
everything on
you.
that. You guys,
When
you always make it so good.
Yep. And your girl had fun and she's been super cool to hang out with, bro.
Oh yeah, she's cool. She's somewhere.
Yeah. So
She's I hear
we
feet.
were oh, she's somewhere. Aloha. Thank you
Yeah.
for coming on Friday. You gotta
So
you
much
gotta you gotta bring Brian out more.
we live down the street.
Yeah.
I
Walk
know.
there.
That's the best. That's one of the reasons why I don't live in town. Is too accessible to do stuff.
Yeah, too easy, right? You have a couple other steps you got to think about before you make that commitment, right?
Yeah, I'm in Kaneohe, like that's a mish to just to get to town, which I don't mind doing, but if I lived in town, I just had to like open the door and walk out, like oosh, probably would
Yeah.
have maybe 4 more kids and a big alcoholic problem.
All the kids could probably pick you up and take you out.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, it would have been better. Huh? That they would be my Uber. Speaking of
oh, yeah.
kids, bro, how old's your daughter?
Oh man, she's 15 now.
Oh my goodness, my daughter just turned 12. It's insane, bro.
No, yeah, it's a trip. It moves really fast.
Yeah. I seen you
Yeah.
guys were in Seattle for a concert. We just missed you by like a day. Like
I saw it and I was like, wait, what? He was just here. That would have been
bruh,
crazy.
that would have been insane. I was like, there's a picture with you, and I'm like, that looks like the Space Needle, because I was just there yesterday, but I know he's not there. And then I'm like, oh, he's there. Like, what's going on? And you
No?
took your daughter to a concert in Seattle.
Right. She was into K-pop, and so her favorite it was for her birthday, which was in May. But then the concert was, further in the future. So I told her for her birthday, I was like, I'll take you to that concert. So it was a real cool, like, daddy-daughter trip. You know
And it
what
was
I
just
mean?
you
And
and
it
her.
was me and her, and we went to this concert.
Oh, that's
And
so.
man, I've never seen that level of like fan worship.
Oh,
It was a trip to see,
all
The
right,
K-pop love is real. I was like, wow.
bro.
I don't, yeah.
I don't get it. I mean, half of
I
those
don't
dudes
get it
look
either.
like girls, but
Yeah, the makeup and all that. But
yeah.
she's my daughter was. I said that to my daughter, and I was like, guys, don't wear makeup or whatever. And she's like, Dad. She was like, they have to be on stage and blah blah blah. I was like, okay, that's true. You know what I mean? So, but
How was the show though?
it was it was it was. I mean, I give it to those guys. They give like 100% on stage. Like, and it was a long show. I did not expect that. It was almost 3 hours long, man. Like dancing and all this stuff, and it was packed, like sold out. Like I
Where
was like,
where was it in Seattle? Was
what
it
was the
Key
name?
Arena, or what is it?
Huh?
The Key
Oh,
Arena?
yeah, it was an arena that was what was it called? I just looked this up the other day, dude, because somebody asked me. It's the only time I've been there, and I was like, where was that? Ah,
Was it
now you
by
got me.
like the Space Needle?
Yeah, right by the Space Needle,
Okay. I
right in
went
front of
over
it.
I went over there to watch BJ get lickings.
Was that what you were there for, or was that at a different time?
Oh, that was a while ago. Yeah.
Oh yeah, Climate Pledge Arena.
Yeah.
That's what
Wow,
it was
that's
called,
cool.
Climate.
Bruh, that's a memory that your daughter will never forget for the rest of her life. And I mean, there's a few people that I grab parenting tips from, and I take notice. I mean, I've seen a lot of shitty parents like from the nightclub industry, but there's certain examples that you did that I would pick up on and made sure, especially because you had a daughter and you knew before me like what to do. And yeah, I always appreciated that, and always uh appreciated your example as a great parent to a daughter, because it ain't easy, man. Like
No,
it's,
thank you, man. I'm not perfect either, but we do the best we can, right? I
yeah,
think the I think the important thing is just, to try to show them that love, and especially if they're into something, you want to show them that support,
yeah,
you know, and just let them know, hey, I'm your cheerleader, or if you like that, like I got you, like
yeah,
I want to like I don't really particularly like her K-pop group that we went to.
yeah.
It was cool to see her having a good
Yeah,
time. So I was looking at her and that's like cheering. And then I told her, you give me your phone, and because she was recording, I said, let me record so you can have your hands to clap and cheer. So I was like, let me record, so you can have fun. She was like, okay, thank you, So it was a good moment, So it was,
wow,
yeah, that was great.
that's
And I think
awesome, bro.
yeah, there's some more trips in the future, I think. Yeah.
Yeah,
Maybe
and
maybe not.
yeah, and Bruno Mars or something that you can sing along to, man.
Yeah.
I
Something
like
like
K-pop. Like I'm half Korean. I always get mad because like if you take the three, like the biggest Asian races, right? Like Japanese, Chinese, and Korean. Japan, they had like the cool samurai movies, right?
Mhm.
Chinese, they had the kung fu movies, Bruce Lee and all that. I'm Korean. I'm stuck with drama and K-pop. I'm like, bro, those are the lamest ones. You know what I mean? Like,
To be fair though, their dramas are the best
oh,
stuff.
bro, don't even tell me. My dad watches them and he gets all nuts. He told her
Man,
this and he's
I
screaming
mean,
at the TV. I'm like, Dad, this is Korean soap opera.
yeah, I don't get into the soap operas, but some of the like movies are dope, and some of the shows are good. They've gotten a lot more. I mean, I've seen the older ones and stuff like that. Like my girlfriend's Korean, so you know, she's like,
Oh,
"Oh,
okay.
the kimchi slap." I told
Oh,
lady, the people with the kimchi. I was like, it's funny, the old dramas and stuff. But yeah, no, but a lot of the new stuff is really good. I know everybody's done the Squid Game and like
oh
all
yeah, that
the
was good. Squid Game was good. I enjoyed that one. Yeah.
yeah, I feel like they have some really good writers there, you know what I mean? And now the world's starting to see
Yeah.
that. And well, that's good they're getting their shine, you know? So
I
yeah.
just wish it was something cooler, bro. Like we like samurai movies, kung fu movies, and then drama. Koreans are known for drama. Like,
Hey,
damn it.
everybody has their lane, I guess.
Yeah, I guess so. Speaking of concerts, bro, I remember going to, which caught me like hugely by surprise. Me and one of my homies went to it was Third Eye Blind at Republic. And we were there taking shots and cruising. It's a rock concert, and you showed up. Do you remember that?
No.
No.
I don't.
I got
Wait.
pictures with you at Third Eye Blind at the Republic. Me,
Third
you,
Eye.
and Dave
I mean, I
from
know Third Eye.
I'm gonna
Hmm.
post this picture on this video if I can find it. Yeah.
Yeah,
And you're
find
the
it.
last person I would expect to be there. And it was super cool.
Yeah. I mean, you know, I get down with all
Yeah.
kind of music, and like I really do. You know, if it's good music, I don't care what the genre is. It's good. You know, like good music, good music.
I'm kind
So
of the same way, except country. I just can't get into that.
same. I mean, I know I just said that, but the only thing I can't recognize good from bad music is country.
Yeah.
I don't really get into country, but some people do, you know,
Yeah.
respect that, but I can't get down with country, man.
Yeah, some EDM too, bro. I cannot, I feel like it's all the same. Like
Yeah,
you could
some of
have
it
like
gets
the best EDM DJs and put them all together back to back, and I wouldn't know what song is what. Like it all sounds the same. It all gets built up, and then there's a drop, and everybody does this.
Yes, I did that at Omnia, and I was like looking around. I was like, first it was cool, but then I was like I know exactly what's gonna happen next, and after that, and after that, and after that. I was like, can I hear like some kind of other beat, some kind of other type of vibe? Like it got really repetitive, man. And I was
Bruh.
like,
Yeah, it gets
I was
built
like,
up, and then they all the lights and the smoke and the
yeah.
I broke it down because I just came back from Vegas and we were at Omnia, and it totally made sense to me. And this is the reason why. EDM is made so white people can dance and not look funny. Because you can't miss the beat. Because I can't dance and I look like the fucking shit because all you have to do is this. You didn't miss the beat.
They're like, perfect. And we'll let them know when it's time to jump with the breakdown and the smoke. When you hear the smoke start jumping, that's cool.
Yo, exactly. That is why EDM is so popular. Because most of America's white people, and they can't dance too well. I can't dance well, but I look fucking pretty cool at Omnia.
People should not discredit the two-step and the head bob. Like, just,
Hey,
like, have
that's my
some cool
go-to,
music,
bruh. Yeah.
cool vibe. So,
But
that
back
was
in
what
it,
was cool hey, that was what was cool about Oceans, actually, man. Like, shout out to DJ Paul Brandon, man.
oh
Cause
yeah,
like he had the task. Cause if you remember Ocean Club, you had Japanese tourists, all kind of tourists, uh, military people, local people, um, everybody used to go there. So he
yeah,
used to rotate the dance floor. And so he would play some rock music. He would play like the current hip hop music. He would play some R&B. He would throw some like throwbacks, like, and rotate it out. So the people who liked that type of music would go to the floor, and then the people that didn't, they'd go to the bar and get
yeah,
a drink. You know what
yeah.
I
That's
mean?
what a
And
good
then
DJ is supposed to do. Yeah.
rotate it out. You know what I mean? So
Hoppa's good at that, big time.
good at
Yeah,
yeah, he's good at that too. And
he's like the
Jimmy and
puppet master. Yeah, Jimmy Taco.
the old school ones, they know how to rotate it. Um, so yeah, I really enjoy that type. So then you're not gonna like every song, of course,
Yeah,
but yeah, but chances are you're gonna like most of it. So
yeah. If it was up to me, clubbers would just play rock.
yeah, that's right.
Yeah,
You love your pop music,
yeah,
man.
yeah.
Yeah. I just remember, man, like I just remember you used to love Linkin Park so much,
Oh yeah,
and yeah, and I remember when you get to go to their concerts and stuff like that, and I was like,
yeah,
he really loves them, and it's crazy because that's one of the rock music, one of the rock groups that I did mess with, like,
yeah.
you know what I loved. Like the way they had their stuff, they would throw a little rap in there. It
Hip
was like
hop. Yeah,
hip hop. It was hard. It was like, and then Chester's voice was insane. You know what
yeah.
I mean?
It's
He would just
iconic,
go,
bro. Yeah,
yeah. So I was like, and then I liked them, and then I knew. Then like Jay-Z started doing with them stuff with them, and I was like, you cannot like not like them. You
yeah,
know what I mean?
yeah,
Yeah. So I thought that was a good choice for one of your
yeah,
favorite groups.
yeah. It was them, Metallica. Yeah, that was. Yeah, I got to see all of them. I got to see Linkin Park live in Vegas. I got the drumstick. It's like up here somewhere.
You
Yep,
caught a drumstick?
right there, Linkin Park. Yeah.
You caught the drumstick, or did they give it to you?
No, okay. I'll tell you this story. Was you know Mark? I don't care,
I
Mark.
could just see you like jump. I don't know. You could
Yeah.
jump like
Talk
jumping
about
over.
fangirl, bro. That's me at the Linkin Park concert.
You run up on stage.
Bro, it was nuts. So what happened was Mark from I don't care. Was me and him and Peter, and we were front
Yeah.
row in Vegas, and they threw this stick out, and either him or me went to catch it. I would say him because I can catch. So it hit his hand and it fell in front of the barrier, and the security was there, and the security was like, he picked it up off the ground and placed it under the stage. And we're like, bro, give us the stick. And he's just like being an asshole. So we know it's there, and the security knows it there. And it was like towards the ending of the concert. So at the end of the concert's all done. They just bow and everything. And Mike Shinoda of Linkin Park jumped off the stage and started shaking hands with the people in the crowd. And we were front. He shook our hand and we're like, hey, Mike, grab the stick under the stage. So he looked and saw it. He went and grabbed it and put it in our hand. And that's the stick right there.
Oh, nice, man.
And it's used. Like you can see all the scuff marks from, like, this is some fangirl shit, but I own it, bro. I'll own it.
If you can see it, if you can see your screen from my perspective,
Yeah.
that stick came like out of heaven or something, man. Like you were like, matter of fact, I got the stick right here.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I have a shelf up here.
It's like, what? It's like, I have the stick right here. Like, what?
Yeah. That's nuts.
You just had it ready.
Oh, it's on display, bro. It was cool because one of our old DJs, Ryan Sean, he was the program director for Star, and I got signed posters from them. I got like we had the DJ slip mat. Yeah, I got one of those from your guy Johan. Yeah, yeah.
Johan?
Yep. And he gave me I have a he would give me their albums like a month before it dropped. And like, it was just the shit back
I'm gonna
then.
tell him that tomorrow. My friend has one of your slip mats.
Yeah, I do, bro. I have it.
He's
It's
gonna
not
be
up
like,
there.
ask him if I can have it back.
There's a story back in the day. I have these Linkin Park. I have 2 Linkin Park posters signed by all of them, and they're hanging in my room when I was living by myself. And at the time, I had this crazy girlfriend from Maui, and she broke into my apartment and she fucked those things up. But just the frame. She just fucked up the frame. She messed up the frame. The pictures are still intact, bro. They're still good.
So she was crazy, but not smart.
Yeah. Typical Thaddeus girlfriend. Not smart and crazy.
Yeah. Thank God you finally found a good one, man.
Oh yeah. Took a bunch of trial and error. You too, bro. Like, never seen you this happy.
Yes.
And your girlfriend now is special, bro. She's bringing the best out of you, and
she loves all my friends too. That's what's so good, you know. Yeah.
I've never seen you this happy, bro. And I knew you a long time. I seen you happy, but I've never seen you this happy. Like, I'm so happy for you, bro. And it's something you've deserved, because you had some crazy
stuff, dude. Yeah. And so I'm I guess like you said, trial and error, I guess you have to go through all that stuff to get into the right mindset of someone who would be healthy for you, you know what I mean, and the type of person you need in your life, right? So yeah, man. So I'm really happy finally, and and it's someone who like supports what I do and just loving, and she can cook.
Hey, that's the main thing. Bro, you guys be eating out all the time. Like, bro, your food, like, I like watching I'm like, what is that? Where is that? And half the time you're not even in the country. It's like, I'm in Japan, bro. I'm like, okay, well, I guess I'm not eating there this weekend.
Yeah, I've got a chance to travel some. Like, you know, my girlfriend's been showing me, she's traveled here. I mean, I haven't traveled at all, because we were in the nightclub every weekend. Yeah. So it's nice that she can show me some things and take me some places I haven't been. So it's really, really, really cool. Yeah.
She's genuinely a good-hearted person, and I've just met her, like, just from talking story with her, and bruh, you can tell it's different, bro. And yeah, it definitely shows in your whole shine is different, bro. You're happy, and I couldn't be more happy for you, bro. There's some people that deserve good things, and you're definitely deserve someone that can treat you good, and it's cool to see, man. And she can drink, bro.
You've been through a lot with me for a long time, so for you to say that really means a lot. Thank you.
Yeah, I'm happy for you, and bruh, she got to bring you out more. She can drink too.
I met my match, man. Like, I could go and like drink, and then in the morning or the next day, I'm like, she's like, "Are we still working out?" I'm like, "No." Like,
that's like, how is that an option? Yo, cheers.
And then she goes and works out anyway. I'm like, "You're tripping."
She's ready, bro. She's ready. You're just wasting time. Yeah, man. It's cool to see, bro. And yeah, bro, she gets along well with everybody, like all your friends, like us. Like, it's like I've known her like from the beginning. Like, she just comes in and it's like, what's up?
Yep. Yep,
Yeah.
see that, and that's what's really cool too. That she really treats others well, and that tells you a lot about someone. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Well, I think with us getting older too, the qualities in a person change. Like, I
Thank
mean,
that.
honestly, when I was younger, it's, oh, how hot is this chick? And that's the one I want, but that's the one with the crazy drama. But now we get the hot chick with the good job and the great attitude and the brains, and it's like we
Yeah.
got to check all the boxes, because we would just have like 2 out of the 8 boxes and be a train wreck.
And then we're like, why doesn't it work?
Yeah, exactly.
Oh,
Yeah. I guess
yeah,
both
yeah.
of us checked all the boxes, and I guess, yeah, we're doing good, man. Happy.
Yeah. Yeah, and so I'm gonna have to stop back by and see you when Hanson is there too. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
yeah.
Because I always miss either you or him. So.
Yeah, no, I remember last time you came and I was off island or in Maui or something. And then I get the text like, oh, I'm coming. And I'm like, fuck, I'm not there. Like, really? You're gonna come when I'm not there? And then, yeah, with this time it was the opposite. Hanson wasn't there.
Opposite, you know what I mean? So I'm gonna have to like make sure you're both there, man. But
yeah,
I definitely always want to support you guys, and yeah, I'm always in you guys' corner, man. You guys are two of the best guys that that I've worked with. You know, we were just all of the same mind. We cared about our crowd. We cared about our brand. Cared about our brand. You know what I mean? And we always were truthful with each other, and that's a hard thing to find in that industry.
bruh,
And
I say it all the time. You're right.
yeah, and it's just you can't, and that's why it worked for so long. You know what I mean? Because there was no one who was trying to be the boss. There was no one trying to thinking they're better than anybody else. It was just us. You know what I mean? Like you would say something, I'd be like, oh yeah, man, that's a good idea. Or Hanson would be like, yeah, let's do that. I mean, we all accepted what everybody had to say. You know what I mean?
And we weren't afraid to call each other out on shit that we didn't think would work, but that usually wasn't the case. It was always
Yeah, that
hyping
didn't
each other
happen
up.
too many. I can only think of a couple, but I don't even want to talk about that. But yeah,
I think what was cool, like you said, like no one wanted to be the boss. I didn't want to be the boss for sure, because like it just felt like a
reason why it was good is because we all work together.
And we're friends. We were friends first, I guess. Like, yeah. Friends throwing parties together. That's fucking. We gotta.
I mean,
speaking of which, bro, come on. We've been talking about it for a while, and we really gotta sit down and try to figure this out, bro. Like, there's gonna come a time where we won't be able to do it again.
Sure.
And fortunately, the time has not come yet, but we gotta stop talking about it and be about it. And I'm putting it out there right now, bro. Me, you, and Hanson, maybe even Raph, because it just works. And there's so much.
Raph was a great partner too. Like he was cool, and I saw him today. Actually, we watched some football today. But yeah, Raph's a good friend. Jimmy was over. Jimmy's down. Excel was over. Like these are guys that are like super good, and we can include everybody. You know what I mean? And just have a great time. So yeah. I'm down, man.
We just need to figure out a venue and like what kind of direction we want to do it in.
Oh, with it, yeah.
But we gotta make it happen, bro. Like we've talked about it for way too long. I think the last stuff we did together was 1144, which was fun, bro. Do you remember that spot? That's what I really like that place.
I like 1144, man.
It was like a Pearl W vibe.
Right. And it was like down, but in Chinatown.
Yeah.
like, how does that happen? But it happened. Yeah. Like, and everything was. I liked 1144, man. And actually, there was a guy named Jody that was manager there. He was pretty cool. And I don't even remember why it ended. I think 1144 was going through some like ownership type problems and stuff like that. So I think it
Yeah.
ended up we having in that, but that was a good venue too, man.
Yeah. Let's see. We did 11 we did Oceans,
What's over there now?
Paparazzi, Bonds. Oh, where 1144 is?
Yeah,
It was like
isn't
a
it like a
real
print
estate
shop
or offices or something.
offices or something, right?
Yeah.
Just like Oceans
Oh,
is
bruh, that's heartbreaking. It's
that's
HPU Learning Center. Like, what the fuck is that?
I'm like, if they only knew what happened there.
Oh, the sin that's in there. It's still in there. They can't get rid of it. It's
Every
ingrained
once
in
in a
the
while, they got
earth.
to be studying, and then they probably hear somebody say, "Shots, shots, shots,
Yeah.
shots." And they're like, what was
Just
that?
Chris Meheula alone made the most sin in there. Yeah.
Oh, dude, I'm sure there's some ghosts that like rattle some chains up in there. So
Yeah. Our mana is definitely in there. But let's
they
think
can't.
about it. Like all the events or venues we did together, we did Oceans, Bonsai, obviously Living Room. Did we do it? What is that? Tsukiji's? Oh, Tsukiji's was a good one.
Paparazzi.
Paparazzi. What's that paparazzi now?
Something's up there. Isn't it like a restaurant or something?
Like a coffee shop or something, huh?
Yeah, like a coffee shop.
Do you remember when it was Brew Moon? It was Brew Moon
Yeah,
before.
sure.
Yeah.
That was cool. That was one of the first places like that I really enjoyed because at that time it was like DJ Sub Zero
That's
and
right.
DJ
Sub-Zero.
and Grant, like the Dark Side of the Moon, like uh their group. They were always doing like the conscious like underground hip hop and stuff like that. You know what I mean? And so that was just one of those like cool vibe nights. I think that was on a Sunday too.
Yeah, that was Sunday. Yep.
Yeah,
So a lot of
which is
industry went.
right. And so
Yeah.
then that closed
Yeah.
and people were like, damn, that was cool, right? And so I think that's why they wanted the living room on Sunday,
Mm,
going back to our first part of our conversation, because they wanted to
yeah.
kind of mimic that and have somewhere cool with cool music that people could go on Sunday. So
You
yeah.
know what venue that I was super stoked that I got to do with you and Hanson was the clubhouse. It was the old Hard Rock Cafe. I always
Yeah,
wanted to do that spot, and to do it with you guys was fun. And we had that rocking for a bit, bro.
it's fun. That huge outside area.
Yeah.
Yeah, on the backside. That's crazy, you know, like that was like just a good space, you know what I mean? And I remember this is before I even started promoting anything. And I actually got to be good friends with them later, but like VJ guys.
Oh, Russ guys. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. And they used to I used to hear their event
Rubber
on
slipper or something. $4, $2 pitchers and rubber slippers.
I was like,
Yeah.
what?
Yeah.
But I would always drive by and it was like cracking. So
Yeah. I
yeah,
always
I
thought
ended
that
up.
was a cool venue.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. That was
Yeah,
cool
yeah.
too.
And you got
The
him
DJ
to take the car off, right? The car out the top. That
Yep,
was
I
you.
was
You
like, that
kept telling him you
dope.
gotta get rid of that thing. And then we had Cherry dancing on the top after.
Yeah, yeah. I was like, man, we got to get rid of the car. Like, that's
Yeah.
weird.
I don't know how they did, but they got rid of it.
Right. We came in one time, I was gone. I was like,
Yeah.
thank you. I was like, how the hell did they get that
Yeah.
down? Like, did they
Yeah.
pop it in half?
Because you told him to. You told him to.
Yeah. Well, he asked, like, is there any changes or whatever? And I was like, yo, the car has to go. And I know
Yeah.
you guys were probably like, what?
How the
Like,
hell are they gonna do that? Like,
I was like, I don't know.
whatever.
I'm just saying. But yeah, that was a good one too.
Tsukiji's was fun. That was a pain moving on
It
all
was
those
fun.
chairs and stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, that was crazy.
Danny
I'm
was a
glad
good owner to work with, though.
I like I like Danny Kim.
Yeah.
You know
To
what I
this
mean?
day, I see him. Yeah.
And he's always got the smile. He's always I like Danny a
Yeah.
lot, man. Like I would if he did anything like whatever, like I would work with him again. Like
Oh
he was
yeah.
always up front with us. You know what I mean? Like I
You
like
know what
him.
was
Yeah.
weird? Well, not weird, but was super cool. Is I remember he gave us a Christmas bonus, like a Christmas card with a bonus to this day, that never happened ever again from
Oh, no,
anybody
no.
else. But I remember that.
Yeah, a bonus. We were like, a
Yep.
bonus?
Like,
Like,
what is this? Do we, what is this for? What do we got to
from a
do?
glove over it?
Yeah.
Like, all right, thank you. Like, I wasn't complaining though.
We literally took a Japanese buffet restaurant and turned it into the best nightclub in Hawaii. Like,
Yeah.
how did we do that?
Someone told me about like, yeah, people were just tripping on that because they walked in, they were like, I can't believe I'm partying in Tsukiji's, the restaurant.
Yeah. I just had lunch
Like,
here with my mom for her birthday.
right. But it like ended up being like cool, like,
We're there
because
for
it
a
looked,
while too, huh?
oh yeah, we were there for almost 3 years, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it was a good time. And then yeah, it had to end. M nightclub opened, and that was the new thing, and so everybody
Yeah.
went check it out.
Yeah.
But yeah, we had a good run at Tsukiji's, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was a fun one.
Mhm.
Paparazzi was fun too. Like working with that owner was
Yeah,
different. I actually
yeah,
liked him though. I had a
George.
good relationship with him. But yeah, George Kale.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I always had a good relationship with George too. I wonder where he's at now.
I seen him at a some kind of expo at Blaisdell one time, and he came up to me and he was like, "Hey, what's up?" I was like, "Oh wow, it's cool to see you." Yeah,
Yeah,
super cool.
yeah. Cool old man, dude. Like, I
Yeah,
like him.
he
Yeah,
was
yeah.
he
Because he
he
would
owned.
actually come to our events,
Yeah,
and he
yeah,
chilling in the bag having his drinks with his friend.
yeah. He would he remember he owned it was the maze. He owned the maze
From way
back in the
before. Yeah.
day. Yeah,
Oh, he wasn't new to the business, that's for
yeah.
sure.
He actually owned this place called Blue Zebra that long time ago. It was Blue Zebra and Mystique. And that was at
Mm.
Restaurant Row a long time ago. I was like 18 and stuff. So it
Yeah,
was
yeah.
crazy.
That was like right across or down from where Oceans was.
Yeah, yeah.
That was before my time of being here. But
Yeah.
yeah,
How did you end up in Hawaii? Wait, where are you originally from?
originally born in Florida.
Okay. How
Yeah,
did
and
you
then
find your way to Hawaii?
well, I was born in Florida, moved to New Jersey, moved to Ohio, and then like my best friend in high school from Ohio, we graduated and everything. Then he went to the army, right? And I went to college or whatever. And then after that, he was stationed in Hawaii. And then
Mm.
I came out to visit him for like 2 weeks, and he was like, "Man." And then 2 weeks, had fun, whatever. Went back home to Ohio, and then he hit me up. He's like, "Why don't you just move out here, bro?" And I was like, "Yeah," because Ohio was not that fun. I don't know if you ever
Yeah.
kicked it.
I've been there. Yeah. I fought over
Yeah, and
there.
it's
Yeah.
very like segregated, like as far as like people. There's not a lot of different kinds of people. You know what I mean? And so you know, I was like, why not? You know, I don't have anything holding me down here. And so he had a 2-bedroom apartment, and no one was in the other one. He was like, you don't even have to pay rent. Just come here. And then I bought some car for like $400. It was like an island. And then I
Yeah.
had a job before I got here at Sprint. Like I called up there, and I got a job in Ohio at Sprint just so I can transfer to
Oh.
Hawaii. And then they were like, "You've only worked here 3 months and you're asking for a transfer to Hawaii." They're like, "That's not how it works," or whatever. I was like, can you like?" And
Make
so
it
he had to
work.
like, yeah, he actually, the guy that was the manager, he made it work. And so I transferred, and that was my first job in Hawaii, was Sprint. And so
Nice.
yeah, yeah. And so this my friend brought me out here, and he don't even live here anymore. So
Oh. Well, I feel like you honestly, I feel like you're local. Like you have that aloha. And I
um,
mean, doesn't matter where you're from. You have aloha,
it's
you're
meant to be. When I
part of the
came here,
culture.
and
Yeah.
I started meeting, you know, people. And the important thing is, when you new somewhere, is respect where you're at, you know, and
Yeah.
learn the ways of where you're at, you know. And I had you know, a crash course real quick because I had some good people that I met right away, you know, and I was doing some things and they're like, no, no, you can't be doing that. I was like, oh, okay, you know, like, and they explained it to me. And so I was actually got to actually like get how it is here on this island really quick, you know. And then I just met all kind of good people. And
Yeah.
I mean, I love everybody here and I love the people I've met, all different walks of life, man. And I do, I love it here, man. Yeah.
Yeah. I think this is your home. I feel like,
It is.
yeah, I feel like you've been here like forever. It's like this is
Been
you.
like 20 something years. So
Jeez.
yeah, half of my life at least, you know. So
You go back to the mainland a lot to visit family and stuff?
man, I haven't been able to lately, but I plan to this year, you know what I mean? Because I do miss my family. That's one thing, people that live out here don't take your family for granted, you know
Yeah.
what I mean? That you got to see them every day or all that. So that's, you know, like I was talking to my dad earlier today and he got back surgery
Okay.
today. You know what I mean? So I call him up and make sure he's good. You know what I mean? Parents are starting to get older, you know, and
Yeah.
have health issues and stuff like that. So I really want to go see them and also take my daughter to see that side of her family.
Is that
Yeah.
they're still in Ohio?
Actually, they moved and they're in Virginia now.
Oh, okay. So
Yeah.
Ohio
So
has the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. I got to check that out.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, that's there. I mean, people, I mean, Ohio, they have like the Cleveland Browns and the Bengals. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? They have
Yeah.
two NFL
Yeah.
teams there, you know. I mean, then they got what's it, the Reds,
The Indians.
the Indians. You
Yeah.
know, like it's not a slouch state. It's just it's different
Yeah.
there, you know.
Yeah. Yeah. I had grits for the first time over there. Cause I got to compete there at a Taekwondo tournament. It was a national championship. And it was in Ohio or Cleveland. Yeah, and I had grits. I'm like,
Grits.
what the hell is a grit? Like that
Grits
don't
is
even
like
sound tasty. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
but it was
yeah, yeah.
cool. You put some butter and some
Butter. My
yeah.
dad used to put the butter and cheese in. My dad, like he's from Tennessee originally. That's like a southern type thing. You know what I mean? I'm sure you've
Okay.
heard like shrimp and grits and
Yeah,
stuff
yeah,
like yeah, like Cajun type stuff, like down south. So, but yeah, my dad used to eat grits. That's funny.
yeah.
He said, "You got to eat grits."
The fuck is a grit? That don't even sound. Yeah. How was eating local food when you first came? Like some of the stuff here is pretty out there, I would
um,
imagine.
I mean, yeah. I mean, I think the thing that I tripped out the most about was spam. Because I was like, I mean, you got to understand, like, I knew about spam, you know, because my dad, every great once in a while, he would pull out like spam. And I remember looking at it like, what is that block of, what is it? Like, it doesn't look
Fat.
like any, yeah, it doesn't look like any meat that I know about. And then like, and so it's like something that kind of like poorer people would eat, you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
you don't have for chicken or steak or anything else. And I was like, and then I come to Hawaii and they're like, spam jam. And they're like, it's actually on the menu at McDonald's. I'm like, what?
It's
Like,
in plastic cases at Walmart now.
and they're like, here, man, this is awesome. It's a block of rice with a piece of spam on top of it. I was like, no, no. And now I eat them, bro.
Yeah.
But at first, yeah, it was kind of culture shock at first. I was like, why
uh,
spam? There's so many.
bruh, that's crazy. But you have good taste. Like you eat like all kind of ethnic stuff. I see you eat sushi and Korean food and
Which
yeah.
is, I think that comes from my parents, man, because I have like a real open mind
Yeah.
to everything. You know what I mean? I'm to like everything. I'm not gonna say no to anything. I taste it. You know,
Yeah.
like never thought I would love eel.
Oh
Like
yeah.
not
Yeah,
an
unagi.
outdoor. Like I'm like,
You eat natto?
I will eat natto. I don't have a problem eating
Oh,
natto. It's like something that it's kind of like beans, you know what I mean? Like a
mm.
little bit, but I don't do the slime
Yeah, I can't do
with
that, bruh. It's like honey butter.
slime.
Fuck that.
And then it doesn't have to do with taste. It just has to do with like
Consistency, yeah.
consistency, like okra.
Oh, okay.
Like it has that slime in there, or what's that? The yams too. Some of that
Oh,
stuff. Like if I take a bite or something and there's like something stretching from my fork, I'm like, it looks like snot or something. I
yeah,
can't do it.
exactly. Yeah, I'm
Not
not
that
a
it
fan of
tastes
natto.
bad. Not that it tastes bad. It's just like, uh,
I
you
thought the
know.
first time I had natto, like it was spoiled. It's like, no, that's how it's supposed to be. I'm like, well, that's not supposed to be on my plate.
Exactly, man. Sometimes to me it just boils down to like, yeah, I mean, I could eat it, but why when I can eat this?
Yeah,
Like I
exactly.
got this
Yeah,
juicy piece of
hamachi right here, right? Or
right,
rancid
yeah,
soybeans.
I got steak, and then I got this snotty pile of whatever. Like, why should I? I
Yeah,
don't know.
it's a
Just the way.
no-brainer in my opinion. Oh, eat
Hey,
spam.
hey, to each their own, man. I eat spam, and now like spam, eggs, rice. Cool now. I love
Yeah.
all that kind of. It's funny,
Yeah, you
even
have a
when.
local taste. You have local taste, yeah, for sure.
Mhm.
Plus, your
Yep,
girlfriend
I
cooks
eat
up a
it all.
whole bunch of nice different cuisines.
Yeah, she's talented, man, because she's Korean. She can kill the Korean stuff, but she can also cook like anything. Like tonight we had taco night, man. And she like
Oh,
was like she went and like chopped up all kind of stuff for hours and stuff, man. And like I'm like, we are so lucky. Like, she's like
yeah.
at this full spread.
Yeah,
I'll
last
post it
time I
later so
I
you can
I
see.
came, yeah, I came to one of your football parties and it was like, yeah, it was like a whole like full on like buffet. I was like, wow, this is nuts.
Spread. And that's what's cool too, because you know how we like doing events and stuff. She's
Yeah.
like that too. If she does a party or something like that,
I
it's a
can I
party she
I can
likes
I
to.
should come to one of your football parties as long as it's not the Niners. Because if it's the Niners, I'll get you guys evicted for sure.
Yeah,
I cannot control my
yeah.
mouth when the Niners are playing.
Titus was like that too.
Yeah.
Titus was totally, yeah, he'd be like, yeah,
Yeah.
like I was like,
What the,
man, calm down, man.
my daughter tried to get me
But
to
I don't
have
know.
a swear jar. I'm like, there is no way. One Niners game, I'll lose 2 paychecks.
Yeah, you don't have enough money that
Yeah.
you could be super rich and you still wouldn't have enough money for your
Yeah.
mouth, bro.
Yeah. Too emotional, bro. This past weekend was rough.
Hey,
Oh
I
well.
can't talk though. The Raiders 0
Oh
3.
yeah. They're on paper, they're I thought they would be a lot better.
On paper, man,
Still
but
early in the season. Still early in the season. Yeah.
sorry, man, it's Carr. I don't believe in him.
I kind of didn't either, but I thought with the right receivers around him, you guys got Devontae Adams and yeah.
And that's what I told all my friends. I said, if it's anything, it's going to be this season because they gave him everything he needs. So if it
Yep.
doesn't happen this season, I think we know who the problem is.
Yep. Well, I
Which
think
I
my
already
team
know.
is,
So
I think my team every season is the year. And I went up to watch my rookie quarterback or second year quarterback break his ankle. I was there in the stadium right in front of us. He
yeah,
broke his leg right in front of us.
you were, man.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Oh
And like
well.
I actually him too. You know what I mean? I think
Yeah.
part of the visit because you and a couple of my other friends like San Fran. So always if I try to root for them if
Yeah.
it's not Raiders.
I'm the same as long as they're not the Seahawks. I'm starting to hate the Cowboys, but I have a lot of Cowboy friends. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
My
Chris
sister.
and everybody. Yeah.
Yeah, Chris is a cowboy.
Yeah.
Love
Unfortunate.
him though.
Yeah.
I love him. Yeah.
Well, dude, I think we've been going for a long time. I could probably this could probably last another 4 hours.
Yeah. If we,
Yeah.
yeah, if we weren't so old and had to go to sleep. But yeah, we if you want, we can do a part two, but you
Yeah.
can just go through edit out whatever you want to
Well,
edit. Like you can pull stuff from the later part, whatever. I don't know. I know Taylor and you are like editing wizards, bro. Like,
Brian, honestly, it's been a blessing. I had a producer, and unfortunately, he couldn't keep producing it because he got a
I
promotion
remember him at
for
the end.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah, I mean, at the beginning, excuse me, I remember
yeah,
him, and you would always shout him out and have him say hi in the
yeah,
corner of
yeah,
the. Yeah, yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
And he's awesome, and he's the reason why the show even got off the ground. Like, shout out to boy band John. But
Yeah.
because he couldn't, I was forced to learn how to edit my own show, and I started with iMovie, and I outgrew it. And Hoppa Taylor would kind of he'd tell me, come on, bro, you got to do it. Like, don't take a chance. Like, you just got to do it. And he was in my ear. And I remember being on the phone with him. He's like, go buy Final Cut Pro right now. Do it now. And I'm like, at my computer. He's go, buy it now. I'm like, yeah, I'm going to do it. And he would help me to, like, a couple of weeks ago, he gave me this tip that shaved off like 2 hours of me editing. He's been an awesome, because I mean, his videos are like
I mean, he
professional
started
shit.
doing that when he was
Yeah,
young.
like 16. Yep.
Yep. So he's really a pro by
Yeah.
now. I mean,
So
right?
it's been getting better. And is like, for me, what's the biggest thing that's cool is I learned something new. And I mean, to learn something new is exciting for me, and it's a cool thing to have. And Taylor would always do our videos and for Oasis and all our club stuff. And the quality the stuff he puts out now is like movie quality. Like, and now that I know how it works, it's like, rah, how did you do that? Like, what it like?
Is it that hard? Is it like, was it hard for you to learn?
It wasn't hard, but there's so much to learn, and there's so many easier ways to do stuff that I don't know. And he was like, oh, just do this or just do that. Like, I literally went to his house maybe like 2 weeks ago, and I had a bunch of questions, and he just showed me like 3 things, and 2 of those things immediately took my editing time like 2 hours gone easy. Like, and YouTube has a lot of tutorials. And I think the biggest thing for me was to just take a chance, bro. Just believe that I could do it and try. Like, basically, when you're adult, people are afraid to try it. Even when I used to teach martial arts, the best thing was to teach little kids, because with a little kid's mentality, they're always going to try. Adults will give you 31 excuses why they're not going to try. So as an adult, if people were to try with a kid mindset, then a lot more learning would happen. But once you're set in your ways, like, try to get my dad to learn how to do stuff. He's just trying to learn a computer. He almost gave his freaking bank account away to hackers, but he's trying,
man.
bro. Yeah.
Just trying. Hey, I respect you, man. I respect you a lot, because you're doing good, man. And I try to pick up and the people who I know that you come on the podcast with, I always watch those. Some of the guys I don't know, I gotta be in that. But the people that I do know, I'm always like, oh yeah,
Jimmy Taco was a fun one, bro.
21 and Hanson. And Peter. I love
Peter was heavy. Peter was a heavy one.
Heavy, man. I loved all the emotion in that, but I felt it because I felt maybe not as much as you guys were a lot closer, but I really like Peter, you know what I mean? And so I was just like, oh man, Peter, but so glad he's like, I'm following his story. I know you see
he's getting back to it, bro.
Yeah.
He gave us all a little window to catch up, but he's just beating us already.
I'm like, man,
Yeah.
Like I have to try so hard, and
Yeah.
this guy's always been ripped. I'm like, I love him though. So yeah, I
Yeah.
always try to let him know too. I know you see me in the comments, on his posts
Yeah.
and stuff. And him and Suzanne are just great people. So
Oh yeah.
yeah, man,
Yeah.
I'm glad he's doing good. Maybe one day I'll see him in person. So
Yep, for sure. Go check out his shop, bro. They got some cool stuff. Hardcore 808 nutrition. That's their shop. Yeah.
okay, yeah.
Well, man, we've been going for a while, and I definitely want to have you back on. And one of my bucket list things which I want to do in the future is to have me, you, Hanson, Taylor, Chris all on the show one time, and I want to do that in person. And I'm trying to figure out the analytics for that, but that's something that I personally bucket list I want to do, and that'll probably be a 13-hour long
We can even
episode.
move in like Brian Lee.
Yeah, he was fun. He's a fun one, bro. Yep.
Oh, man, I got to hang out with him when we went to Vegas. He's super cool.
Yeah, he don't
Yeah.
change, bro. He's the same silly dude with a business mind now and ambition to the no cap, and he's
But he'll
doing it
still take the time to come over and be like, and
always.
bro, we're in the middle of Omnia. We're in the middle of Omnia, Thad. And Thad was like, oh, B, I just had to let you know, man. Like, man, I love working with you guys, and you taught me a lot, like when we were coming up. And I just like really appreciate you like taking the time to talk to me about stuff and teach me stuff. I learned a lot from you, man. He was like, and it's really good to see you. I was like,
Yeah, he's
wow,
real, bro.
like, real,
Yeah.
because from where he has got to now, he doesn't hate. It would be easy for him to have like a attitude, like
Yeah.
whatever. But no, he came right down and was like, B, dude, you're the OG. He's like introducing me people like, these are the OGs right here. And he's like, make you feel good. He didn't have to do that. You know what I'm saying? But it's cool to know his heart is still good.
Still the same, bro. And seeing his success has been, it's been mind blowing. Like he's such a good dude, and his work ethic is off the charts. And yeah, him and Pono. Yeah.
All right, man. Well, yeah, just let me know when you want to do something again, and we'll put it together.
Bruh, let's do it. Like, I'm not joking. Like, we could even talk through Zoom, but I think you, me, and Hanson and Taylor and stuff gotta sit down and map it out. Like, once we have that first initial meeting, it'll be out there to, like, something gotta happen. And we've been talking about it, and we're not people who just talk. So it's time to start working. Like, I mean, even if it's a one-off or something, there's no way like we're not.
This has to begin at something. Yeah. Right. Because then it's just snowballs. But yeah, okay.
Well, I appreciate you for coming on, bro. I love you. You're one of the best people I've met in the industry, and you're like a real friend and somebody that I do look up to, and I'm happy for you, and I appreciate you for coming on my show. I knew like you would be on eventually. I just needed to have the right moment, and yeah, this was it, bro. And I'll definitely have you on. We didn't even scratch all the crazy shit that we got into yet.
Because we're both so silly and we go off on so many tangents, but that's fine. It just gives us more reasons for part 2.
Yeah. All right, brother. Will shock us for the camera?
Sir.
Right on, bro. I appreciate you. It's been a wrap. We're out. Shout out to the Artist Group Network. Aloha.